And good evening, Teurlings fans, and welcome out to Pizza Village on a Monday night where it is a Teurlings tradition to come out and have pizza, talk a little bit of football, and my goodness, off to a tremendous start. The Rebels sitting at 5-0, finishing up the first third of the season on there. And so congratulations out to Coach Michael Courville and the group of Rebels out here. But, Coach, welcome aboard.
Thanks, Doug. Happy to be here another week and happy to be sitting at 5-0.
Look, it just doesn't seem right. I mean, we were just talking about this, about the scrimmage, and, hey, we're going to come up for the scrimmage. Yeah. You guys were having your lift-a-thon. You were having the alumni night that it had, and here we are in a third of the way through. So
right, you know, a lot of times when the season's going well, it flies by. If it's not going so well, it drags on a little bit. But we're certainly having a good time, and again, with this group of kids, man, we make it fun and make it enjoyable. It really is flying by.
Look, tremendous game Friday night, and we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Want to talk about the lineup for tonight that we have. Of course, we'll have our Bill and Abear player of the game that we will announce, our lineman of the week, and then we will also have our Southern Air Acadiana cool play of the game. We're excited about that. And our special guests tonight are the volleyball team.
Correct, yes, sir.
They'll be in here. And look, they're going to be ready for this because they were down there practicing on that end about how to get interviewed and how to interview, and so might be a job for one of them.
You got to respect it. You got to respect that.
I love it because you don't practice at all at this. You just,
it's apparent. Yeah.
Look, so the grief I got from you last week. I just before we get into too much thing, we were talking to Cody and thankful to the Pizza Village folks here that do this, and we were talking about his hat and the hats that we'd passed out, and I said, "Well, where's your hat?" And what'd you tell me?
I didn't have a hat.
Well, I can't let that go without saying.
All
I can't let that go. But so that's for you. You get that.
All right, thanks, Doug.
I was gonna wear my TC gear, but
I got one in the truck for you. We'll get it at a break.
There you go. Yeah. Now that all that's out of the way, I wanted you to have that.
Thanks,
yeah.
man.
So look, you've got a hat now, and I don't expect you to wear it during the games. I mean, you got to keep that going on, but all the rest of the time, then we'll have to do that.
Fair.
All right. So now let's jump into that big game Friday night. You guys, I don't think could have started any quicker than you did. You tried to start fast on the kickoff.
Yeah.
On their
I was going for the cool play of the game, but it didn't quite work out the way we wanted. But it was still a good return. Had the ball in the 32, and then we let Alex let it rip, and he let it fly. And perfect throw to Nick. Nick had a great separation. And
well, you can't give away that it's not the cool play because we don't announce that until the show.
Well,
so it's a candidate.
But I was going for it.
You were going for it. Yes, you were going.
You gave me a hard time, so I thought about it, and like I said, it didn't execute it, but we had something better later on.
But then, I mean, the very first play from scrimmage, you guys light it up right away. Munoz to Celestine in that one, and you kind of knew at that point what kind of night it was going to be.
Well, I mean, you hope so. I mean, we didn't really execute at a high level following the next two drives, so obviously you score points within the first 10 seconds. So you got a lot of confidence, and the stadium's excited, and everyone's kind of, their gears are kind of going. But then it didn't really go as we like to have gone our plan for the rest of the first quarter. But we certainly picked it up in the second quarter, scoring 34 points.
Look, defensively, you guys have done what they've needed to do all year long. Did it again this time. I don't think give up any points until the end of the game, and we'll get into that in a little bit as well. But it seemed like to me that I don't know if it's some plays that we hadn't seen before. It looked like there was some. I don't know if you were holding on to some or you're just giving some an indication of, hey, I don't care what you've seen. You better watch out for what's going on.
Well, defensively, it a lot of times it's predicated on what the offense is doing, how they line up, what schemes they're running. I thought Coach Bart was super dialed in. The previous week, the tailback from Kuma was statewide player of the week, and we kind of took that personally going into the week, and we're really proud. At least with our first group, we held him to 18 yards rushing.
He had 200 and how many the week
200,
before?
202 and 6 touchdowns, and we bottled him up.
And
he
had
scored
how many with you?
He scored. He did have a touchdown.
But he had 18 yards.
18 yards, and so we did pretty well, stopping the run. And that was our primary focus of the entire program was stopping the run, and they did a great job doing so.
Look, they did that. And again, as I'm watching through the game over and over and over, I probably watched it 3 times just over the weekend and then today. I picked up something different each time. Somebody else on the line doing big work. Somebody defensive line. Somebody throwing a pass that I didn't think was going to throw a pass, and we'll talk about that as well.
All right.
But it seemed like you guys just went out on a mission Friday night.
You know, a lot of times it could be, it was written in the paper that we were primed for a letdown game,
Right.
and it wasn't about that. We were solely focused on getting ourselves better. We want to be at our best in November and December, and Friday night was certainly a chance for us to go out there and improve, and I thought that we did. I mean, so many kids execute at a high level. Really just a great performance from our kids.
And I know that you guys you stay out of the paper and stay out of social media and don't read the good stuff and don't read the bad stuff. That's what everybody tells you. But your bulletin board's got to be getting full of stuff that people are underestimating you guys.
You know, you could say that. I mean, sometimes you got to find something like this week they were selected to be their homecoming game.
Right.
So I mean, that's something that gets us fired up. You know, there's going to be something, especially getting more into the season. You find things. I don't necessarily think we need to be motivated. We want to be at our best, but certainly there's ways that we can fire up a bunch of 14 to 18-year-olds. We'll find it.
Look, Xbox and free pizza, that generally does it. But these guys have played at such a tremendous level, and the seniors, and we've talked about the seniors all year long. They are doing such a great job as being leaders on that squad and doing what you're supposed to do, because there's an opportunity to get a certain amount of senioritis, and these guys don't have it at all.
No, I don't have it at all. We had senior night Friday, which I really want to thank you guys for filming, and that was really important for us, and to get those guys the chance to go back and see it with their parents. But, there's 30 seniors, and sometimes, not that it's something to be proud of, but sometimes you see a kid, you're like, oh, you're not going to miss him, and we don't have a single kid.
Right.
I mean, it's just from the top to the bottom, just a special group, awesome players, awesome kids, and just a lot of fun to coach.
Look, before we get too deep into the show, we got a guest in here tonight. The man that does the production for us down here for you guys, Brett Stallsby, is in the house with us over there. So big shout out to Brett for the work that he does to get this thing on the air each week. He said, "Man, I'm in the booth and I don't know any of these folks." I said, "Come down to the show, you'll know them all."
There we go. Yeah, won't take you long,
on Monday night. So it was great to see him be able to come up here. All right, back into the game we go. You get into the second quarter, and it was your quarter. I don't know if you've had one like that this season. You guys really got after it.
Yeah, I think the second quarter, Sam Houston was a great quarter for us. Remember, as we scored before half, but I told the kids at halftime that the sequence that I was super proud of is we scored a touchdown, got the 2-point conversion, we kicked the ball off, tackled them on the 5. Then we scored on defense with the safety and went down and scored again. Just that sequence, all 3 phases, executing at an extremely high level, something that I'm very, very proud of.
Look, the enthusiasm of that group on the play before the safety, when it looked like they had the safety, and then to come back and get it the next one. I mean, it was you knew they knew what was at stake on that too.
And we've been really proud of our defense all year. I thought they played at a high level, but that was the first time that we've actually, put points on the board from our defense. So that was important to us, and those kids, it meant a lot to them, and they were really focused on when the opportunity came, hey, let's go get a safety. We got to stop. Seth Miller had a great play, snap prior to, and then, we did Jack and Seth ran on the safety as well. Just something that, again, to help the team, and we've been stopping them, but to get some points for the offense as well was something that really meant a lot to those kids.
Look, you talk about Jack after the safety. Of course, everybody you see has their hands up on that the prior, but I think he was getting into the office doing a little dance out there too. It looked like there was a lot of emotion, and it's on the video. You can see the video that's out there. Yeah, it doesn't make you.
Jack's a different guy, man. He likes to have a good time, but no, that senior class started with them being fun, but. No, they play hard, and some of those things, whenever they're playing with passion and emotion, let them be.
That's one thing. You listen to Nick and I on a call, and I love the enthusiasm. I love the excitement that these young men play with. As long as it's not directed at anyone, and it never was. Right. None of it is. But it's great to see you pick up things when you're slowing down and you're watching the videos and trying to put stuff together. You see things like that. Yeah. There were a couple of them later in the game on some touchdown receptions too.
Well, it sure would be nice to have Nick and yourself call games. I don't know what that's about, but that's okay. But no, those kids, I said, they have fun. And
I got to believe that there's going to be a game that we call this year. I somehow see that working out.
Yeah, it's possible. But no, man, like I said, with the kids, man, they're having fun. They're competing at a high level. They're not doing anything that's too egregious. And if they were, they know that I'll be the first one in their face. But let them have fun. They're kids.
Now, I saw some tape of you, Coach, as a younger player, and I don't know if we loaded it, but there were a couple of those little dances. I think they might have learned from you. Is that?
I highly doubt it.
I
highly doubt it. Yeah.
I really don't have any footage of that.
Listen, I don't know where you could have gotten that from.
At all.
But,
I don't have that. I don't think I haven't tried to dig some up.
I'm sure.
Anyway, I made that call to your dad and said, "Hey, look, what do we have on?" He's like, "I got nothing."
No, see, our games were on DVDs back then, so you'd have to,
My goodness.
We weren't streaming like, we weren't high tech like we have it now.
Look, it's you can't hide from anything these days with social media or any of that. But your kids have done a great job of keeping the main thing, and staying away from all of that, and we love that on there. You come out in the second half on there, and you've got that big lead. How do you continue the focus on there to get it to where because you guys ended up putting it up, what was it, 40, I guess, 40?
41 nothing and a half.
Yeah, and so you come back in, and you have to focus. Being able to come out of the locker room is such a big gain for you.
Yeah. I told the kids at half, we didn't show up here just to play 24 minutes. We're here to play 48. In high school now, if you get up 42 points, they have running clock. And I've been really happy with the seniors. I told them, when we get their running clock, we'll start getting some other guys in there. And I need you to help us coach them up and have fun. And there weren't any guys that were, posing for pictures or sitting on the bench. They were really engaged and trying to help those guys that help them every day in practice. And I was really proud of that.
Look, you see, for those that watch the game from a 30,000-foot view, you see a lot of times that, they're looking like they're running it up because they're continuing to. Look, you're trying to get to that 42 mark, and yes, the clock runs close, and so some of the younger guys aren't getting quite a bit. But the sooner you can get in and get out of a game and stay injury-free in one of those things, you want to do that.
Well, we kicked it off to Tacoma, and there was a fumble, so we got the ball, and we scored relatively quickly.
Right.
And there was just so much time left on the clock that, it's tough to make a decision. If there's 10 minutes left in the third quarter, do you remove your starters who are going to be able to need to play 4-quarter games here pretty soon? So it was a tough decision. And then, really just the running clock, it was fast. Not something that we had experience in. And, we had more guys getting on defense than offense than we would have liked. I would like to get some more kids in the game, but just we didn't possess the ball in the fourth quarter at all.
Right.
The running clock,
you look
change.
up and it's already over. Put it into perspective. Your senior night halftime 20 minutes. Your second half 24 minutes.
Right.
I mean, it's just you don't have that time, and before you know it, it's over with.
As I'm saying, it went by quickly. We went down, scored in the third quarter. We kicked an extra point as the fourth quarter is beginning.
Right.
And like I said, it just they Como had a long drive with us, and then we did have a fumble on our ensuing kickoff return. But the running clock really does change things for you. Back in the day, you can get a lot of kids in, and it was treated like a normal game. I think it is a good thing. People can't truly run it up or embarrass or keep people injury free. It just that rolling clock is serious.
Look, it makes a lot of difference, and the best thing they did years ago was take the point differential out of the factor of any rankings too, because you get teams in there that will just continue to do that for Star. We're at Pizza Village. It's a Teurlings tradition on Monday nights. Come on out, 6:30 to 7:30. We're here. We'll be right back on the Coach Courville Show on 446 Sports.
For over 40 years, Tim's Southern Air of Acadiana has kept homes cool, safe, and running strong, day or night. From expert air conditioning services to dependable whole home generators, our certified team is always ready when you need us most. We're not just technicians, we're neighbors who care. Southern Air of Acadiana. Let us bear it. Call 337-339-9661 or visit timsac.com.
Here's your Beal and Hebert starting lineup.
Lance Beal, Teurlings Catholic.
Kenny Hebert, Catholic High.
Stephen Williams, STM.
Don Connett, USL.
Alan Haney, Catholic High.
Gabrielle Romero, Sacred Heart.
Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
You can start a rewarding career as an emergency medical technician sooner than you think. The National EMS Academy, a division of Acadian Ambulance, can train you in just 12 weeks at their campuses in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Covington, Lafayette, Lake Charles, New Orleans, and Thibodaux. Students who complete the class and pass the National Registry exam are eligible to work for Acadian Ambulance. Classes start soon. Learn more at becomeamedic.com.
Home isn't just a place, it's where life happens. At the LaLuck Group, we've helped families take that first big step and then the next. From starter homes to forever homes, we're here for the moments that matter most. Because the best real estate experience doesn't just find you a house, it helps you build a life.
At Guillory Chiropractic, we offer a variety of services to help you feel your best. From chiropractic adjustments for back pain relief to prenatal care during pregnancy, our team is dedicated to providing personalized treatment plans. We also specialize in sports injury rehabilitation and can assist with post-accident recovery. Whether it's routine checkups or specialized care, Guillory Chiropractic has the expertise and compassion you need to achieve optimal health. Contact us today to schedule an appointment at our Lafayette or Church Point locations.
When it comes to celebrating big moments, BK Distributors has you covered. From eye-catching fathead decals and senior banners to custom cutouts that bring your favorite faces to life, we help make memories larger than life. Cheer loud and proud with hand fans and personalized signs, or honor achievements with awards and trophies that shine just as bright as the people who earn them. Whether it's for your school, your team, your business, or your community, BK Distributors delivers quality, creativity, and service you can trust. BK Distributors, where every moment deserves to stand out.
And we are back to Pizza Village on a Monday night. It is a Teurlings tradition. Come out and visit with us at Pizza Village on Monday nights. Here on Mall Street, we'll talk a whole lot of TC football. We'll talk about some of the other things going on. It is the Michael Courville Show brought to you by Pizza Village. And, of course, we thank our friends at Southern Air Acadiana, of course, the LaLuck Group, who does what they do, Bill and Hebert for our player of the game. And so the community has really gotten behind all of this, awesome. and we're loving it on here. So, our lineman of the week, Coach, we've had, man, you can almost close your eyes and pick somebody the way they play as a unit. Mm-hmm. It's not left tackle, left guard. It's offensive line. It's defensive line. These guys all get together and play. So tell me what our thought process and what you thought about coming out of it this week on our linemen.
Yeah, I thought on both sides of the ball up front, we play exceptionally well. You mentioned offensive line. Well, now we're four seniors and a junior with Barron, replacing Josh. But those four seniors, Josh included at 05, were led all spring, led all summer. Just a great group and people that we can, hang our hat on and guys that we can trust. But the kid that we've selected this week for our lineman of the week is Thomas Kramer. Thomas plays our right tackle.
There you go, Thomas Kramer.
Yeah. Thomas is about as reliable as they come. He's a phenomenal kid. He's a kid that started all last year and might not get some of the recognition or some of the shine that he deserves, I guess, so to speak. But Friday night he did some great things. We were watching the game back, Caitlin and I, 446, and she was busting out laughing because he had a play where he took the linebacker and he actually drives him out of the picture. So it's kind of like the blind side, he drives it. That sort of looked like she laughed, and then he had another play where we get into the end zone and he puts the linebacker straight on his back. And we give out helmet stickers, and Thomas received 2, which is really the high honor, and really proud of Thomas's effort every day. But Friday night he really played well.
Well, congratulations, Thomas, on a big game, and you guys have had a tremendous season. So welcome aboard.
Thank you so much.
Look, when you see that film where you're just taking and driving somebody back on there, what does that do for you? Because in the moment, you might not know as much going on, but when you see it back on film, but take me through those times.
Well, it all started at the beginning of the game, as Coach said, how when Como came, we took it personal. And I think that's a big thing that we need to keep on doing. It's just in the start of the game, our defensive coordinator, Coach Park, walked in and was like, these people are here, and they're ready to go at it, so y'all do. So I just took it personal, and I didn't let off the gas the whole game.
Look, when you see these linebackers that are the recipients of these hits, a lot of times they're not so quick to sneak up to the line, are they?
Nope.
No, when you see them starting to back off a little bit, that's as good as seeing them with their hands on their hips. You know you're winning that.
That's a great feeling.
Look, what is it when you see that and you're in the huddle and you're talking to that offensive line and you're saying, look, let's continue to do this. You know that you're able to set that secondary line of scrimmage and just move those guys back a little bit. That's got to be a point where you just look at each other and say, all right.
Yeah, we know that when we start doing that, just to keep going. And one of the funny things I remember is when we were in the end zone, I wound up pancaking one of the linebackers, and it was funny because the whole defense, I was completely on the other side of them, so they were all just surrounded me, and they were all just pissed at me. And then I go back and
I love this dude.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's great.
I go back and high five Colston, and the ref just says to all the defense, he's like, I can't do anything. The dude just annihilated you. And I just laughed.
Look, there's one way to stop that. Don't let you do that. But
I mean,
that's all.
You can't complain about it.
You know, Doug, one thing I love about Thomas is Thomas is a true football player, and the fact that outside of football, you're not going to find a nicer, more gentle person. But as soon as the helmet comes on, Thomas Kramer is a completely different Thomas Kramer. And he's got a mean streak and something that we certainly love. But again, like, he's what you want in a football player.
Look, I'm sitting here when he sits down and starts talking to me, and I was like, there's no way this is the dude that I saw. He just calm and just as nice. And, I mean, and when you get on the field and the whistle blows, that's gone, huh?
Yep.
That's Thomas, man. That's why we love him.
That's just great. Look, first play, I mean, you guys started fast on there, too, and you see that play go down. What is it like when you're down on this end of the field and you know you got to hurry down there, but it's been a touchdown? That run down there is pretty nice.
Yep. Well, you see it and you think two things, and you're just celebrating in your head, but the second thing is like, okay, I got to get down there and hurry up.
Look, that's just great. Some of your memories from this season. We won't go back into the past on there, but tell me some of the highlights, because you've been in some dogfights this year too. That Notre Dame game was certainly a battle on there. But take me through this first half of the season.
Well, with the Notre Dame game that you're talking about, probably one of the greatest feelings was when we were down and we all kind of came together.
Right.
And we keep on putting points in the board, and we get that right before that winning drive, seeing how electric the crowd is.
Right.
And it just, you just come together and win the game, and that's no better feeling.
Look, that's such a good point, too, because, and Coach and I have talked about this before, I think you learn more and take more out of that than you do a game where you beat somebody by 30 or 40 points.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because it makes you have to up your game every single step to prepare for the end of the season.
What do you guys do as a group? I mean, tell me about the bond along that offensive line.
Well, I mean, throughout the season, throughout the summer, constantly the offensive line is just building. I mean, we try and do stuff all out of practice and everything just to bond, because when you're on that offensive line, you have to be synced together.
Right.
And you're communicating the whole time, but you usually know just a second sense of there's that guy right next to you, and you have to put your full trust in that guy to do what he's supposed to do.
Look, and you guys have certainly done that. Let me ask you this. You have such a hedge of protection that you guys put around Munoz. I mean, are y'all that way at school, too? Does anybody get close to him at school even?
No, sir. Nobody really messes with him too much. But I think we'd stand up if that did start to happen.
Look, I just see y'all walking down the hall in front of him and him leading. I just have that. I don't know, Coach. This offensive unit, we talked about him. Senior lane, you got the junior that's on there, but you think in game one that they're at this level, but like he says, they've grown every game.
Well, and they face different challenges. I think, if you ask some of those kids, they weren't happy with some of the results, a few games prior to, but some of the games as well as they completely dominated. So, it's just kind of, opponents kind of dictate a little bit how that goes and the style of the game or different things. But when those guys are playing as one, and they typically are, but whenever they are, we're pretty darn good.
One last question for you, too, and we'll get you out of here. If there's one thing on your game that you think, you'd like to get a little bit better at, what is it that takes you over that hump?
Well, the main thing that I tried to improve from last season was not stopping until the whistle, because I still remember from our playoff game with John Curtis.
Right.
And I was just a little upset because I felt that I was just blocking my dude for 2-3 seconds and stopping. So I made sure to make that a priority, and each week just mentally make something a priority. But the main thing I'd say is just for pass rushing, staying inside, things like that, getting to the hip on combos. It changes, really changes every week. But
look, I'm a big fan of the term playing to the echo of the whistle, and that is such a big thing. Yes, those linebacker on those couple of plays, you certainly did that. Thomas, my man, congratulations, lineman of the week.
Great job,
Looking
Thomas.
forward to another great season with you guys. Thank you. Look, this dude needs a spot up here each week.
Awesome.
He does a great job. All right, Coach, so let's move along to our Southern Air of Acadiana cool play of the game. And I thought it was going to be the kickoff. And then several other plays happened on there, too. You had the pad, I guess it was an end-around pass is what it ended up being on there, too. But settled on right off the bat on play number 1 on there.
Right.
Take me through that.
Yeah, you mentioned we had AJ's reverse pass was certainly incredible. I tried to go for it on the kickoff return, didn't necessarily. And they also had a safety, so there really was a lot of cool plays. But just the fact that it's the second time this season on the very first play of offensive scrimmage, we scored a touchdown. Play action pass, incredible protection. Alex had a really good play fake, really flipped his hips, had a shoulder square. Something that Alex has really been working on is his D-ball. He's gotten a lot better at it recently. He put a ball post to Nick on the money. Nick had great separation and went up, caught it above his eyes. The defender fell, and he strided right in. And like I said, they got everybody in the whole game. Just the stadium was electric from that standpoint, and just you can't start a game better than that.
Look, when you go to Coach Richard, you see what he's scheming up. He knows, say, hey, look, we're going for it right away.
Well, we laugh, because we like to be a run-oriented program, and we said we're taking our shot here first play. And we actually had some coaches come down for recruiting purposes Friday, and we were visiting with them, and we were joking around. We play around saying that we're an air raid team, and we're certainly not. We say we're going to air raid first play, and we'll see how it happens. And like I said, Alex and Nick and offensive line, all 11 executed flawlessly.
Look, you get it anywhere close to Nick, and it looks like he's going to be able to come down with it and make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick, he's starting to really get back into stride. He's doing a phenomenal job. But as well as, you go to Quinn Simo on AJ's pass. He was covered in great spot. Riley Stout had a great game with 3 catches. Viatar has been doing things all year at a high level. So I just named 4 senior receivers on top of also AJ catching the ball over the middle. So we definitely have the luxury with those kids.
Look, the wide receiver room is certainly plentiful over there, too. And finding ways to get it for a run-oriented team that just you tell somebody else that. I mean, you guys put the ball up in the air and do it effectively and efficiently and when you need to, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and a thing I love, too, is that Alex is such a good decision-maker that we're definitely confident in throwing the football. Again, so I like to be a run-style team, especially with offensive line and the players we have. We have 5 quality running backs as well. So we're very fortunate to have the players that we have.
What did Drake tell us on show number 1 or 2? He says, I don't care if we throw the ball at all.
Well,
he said, let's just run it.
Well, that's Drake, and I'm not going to tell Drake much. But
that's right.
No, but I mean, again, we have quality players all over the field on offense. So it's whatever we feel like is going to work or where we feel like, the defense is giving us, we're certainly going to take.
Well, congratulations from Alex Munoz to Nick Celestine, our play of the game, our Southern Air Acadiana. Cool play, and it'll be posted. So if you saw the video that was out today, it was in there.
Okay.
So make sure that you go back and take a look at that. Each Monday we're going to try to put a recap video together of a lot of the highlights. A lot of them to put together. I think this video went almost 5 minutes just of highlights. I was like, "Great gum, that's a lot of highlights."
Problem to have them. Yeah,
it's a great one. And so then we have our. I'm gonna try my best not to fumble this. Watch that. Look,
good job, man.
See how that's going? Our Bill and Abear Player of the Game. It is our game ball that we award each week on there. I have to make sure that I get the logo. That's right. There you go. We have that. And Coach, again, you've got that's a tough job is coming up with that of who's going to be our game ball recipient, and there were several players that had that, but in the end, you and I talked about it, and
yeah, you mentioned several players. I thought that obviously Alex Munoz deserved it. Counting for 5 touchdowns, ran for 3. But we kind of become accustomed as Alex doing Alex things. I thought Alex Berg had a phenomenal night. I thought Jackson Broussard's really come on and been very consistent as of late. And I thought Seth Miller, who's a senior, really had his best game of the year, and certainly I'm certainly proud of because he's been a kid that we've challenged over the last couple of weeks, and he's definitely responded at a high level. But this week we went player of the game, went with A.J. Price, receiving touchdown that probably only he can get to with his height.
Yep.
He ran in a quarterback sneak. He converted a 2-point conversion, and also threw an absolute bomb for a trick play. So I thought A.J. just all-around athletic performance from A.J. Price.
indeed it was. So we'll get. Look, I think he's going to have another shelf at his house on this too for the footballs, my man. Congratulations. There you go. And so tell us about that. It seemed like he's coming to you with all these things like, hey, what about this? You're like, all right. How about this? All right. What is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah, I mean, since the beginning of the season, really, I really prioritize in being able to do anything on the field. I mean, I feel like the more versatile I am, the more valuable I can be. So, I really take that to heart.
And Doug, with that being said, too, we've already mentioned several times about A.J. coming to me and saying he just wants to play.
Yep.
But the fact that him, one, being unselfish, but then two, that he can fill so many roles for us is just phenomenal. We couldn't be more happier with A.J. and his play style and him just being willing and open to do whatever it takes for our team to be successful.
Look, I know how complex, and look, I don't need Coach Richard to come over and get me on this because I know how intense that offense is. But sometimes the way they get you the ball, it's like you're sitting back in the huddle going, all right, you're here, and I want you to go here. And it's like we're drawing it up on Thanksgiving out in the backyard with just all the ways. Does it progress through the game when it sees like, well, I've got a little advantage here, I've got this, let's try this?
Yeah, yes, sir, definitely. I think depending on their defensive scheme and their players, I mean, they'll line me up in different spots, where I can get the ball.
Look, I love it. When that quick strike right off the bat that got you guys fired up and going, that really raised the level of intensity.
Yes, sir, for sure. Well, because, I mean, the 2 drives before, Coach Mikey already kind of mentioned it, but we were struggling. And I was struggling. I had missed a couple blocks, and I was really getting down, so that drive in particular was really important.
Well, there you go. Halfway through the season, now or third of the way through the season. Sorry about that.
Thank you. That's
Sorry
much
about
better,
that. Yes, that's for you. Don't recall that counts 15 games in this season. So there you go. You guys have been to get better each week. You come into it with a heavy senior laden group. How do you think the progression has been from the jamboree in week 1 to where you're at finishing week 5?
I think it's been great. I think we've definitely gotten closer, which is crazy to say because I feel like we were already so close. But we battled adversity. It's like we've been through blowout games. We've been through close, tight games. And I think every day we come with just a new mindset of just getting better.
How was it walking out on senior night?
It was amazing. I mean, it felt surreal. I mean, it's kind of crazy to believe it's already a lot of our last, couple home games left. And just trying not to think about it yet because it's not over yet. So
look, you guys got a lot of season left, a lot of playoff games at home
definitely,
as well,
no doubt.
and you're certainly positioning yourselves for home playoff games on there. But AJ, congratulations again, our Bill and Abear Player of the Game. Tremendous outing on there. We look forward to more of you this season.
Yes, sir.
Good job,
There
AJ.
you go. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it is volleyball time. We'll visit with some of the members of that award-winning volleyball team. We'll do all of that when we come back over here. Coach, did you ever play volleyball?
We have like tournaments like in the sand at school, different things. But I
They
am
let
proud
you
to
play?
say, yeah, a little bit. I am proud to say that our first state title was my senior year in the girls that I graduated with. So I'm certainly proud of that. Also, before we go to break, talk about Coach Courville Show. His
Yes.
play design's incredible. We gave him my baby for about 3 seconds, and she screamed. So he's not the best baby handler. Play caller, pretty good. Baby handler, not so much.
In her defense, the last 2 segments when she's got on here with you, she screamed and cried and had to go back to mama. So we'll be back right after this. You're watching the Michael Courville Show on 446 Sports.
You got me there.
Here's your Beal and Hebert starting lineup.
Lance Beal, Teurlings Catholic.
Kenny Hebert, Catholic High.
Stephen Williams, STM.
Don Connett, USL.
Alan Haney, Catholic High.
Gabrielle Romero, Sacred Heart.
Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
You can start a rewarding career as an emergency medical technician sooner than you think. The National EMS Academy, a division of Acadian Ambulance, can train you in just 12 weeks at their campuses in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Covington, Lafayette, Lake Charles, New Orleans, and Thibodaux. Students who complete the class and pass the National Registry exam are eligible to work for Acadian Ambulance. Classes start soon. Learn more at becomeamedic.com.
Home isn't just a place, it's where life happens. At the LaLuck Group, we've helped families take that first big step and then the next. From starter homes to forever homes, we're here for the moments that matter most. Because the best real estate experience doesn't just find you a house, it helps you build a life.
At Guillory Chiropractic, we offer a variety of services to help you feel your best. From chiropractic adjustments for back pain relief to prenatal care during pregnancy, our team is dedicated to providing personalized treatment plans. We also specialize in sports injury rehabilitation and can assist with post-accident recovery. Whether it's routine checkups or specialized care, Guillory Chiropractic has the expertise and compassion you need to achieve optimal health. Contact us today to schedule an appointment at our Lafayette or Church Point locations.
And we're back to Pizza Village on a Monday night. It is our Teurlings tradition. We like to get out here, and it gives us an opportunity to talk to different groups here at the school. And we've got probably one of the most spirited groups that that we've had on here. It's the volleyball team that's on here. So we'll let them go ahead and it 1, 2. I thought there were 5 of y'all.
One's not here.
Where'd she go?
She's just not here.
She's just not here.
Yeah.
Good a reason as any. All right, we'll start over here.
I'm Anna Claire Hebert.
So you didn't shake through that at all. You thought you were gonna, and you didn't. All right.
I'm Ava Hebert.
Are y'all sisters?
No, sir.
I guess so. I guess that's pretty common down here. So all right.
I'm Olivia Hebert.
You gotta be kidding me. And look, I know the answer. You're not related to either of these, are you? No. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Are you related to either of them? You can't be kind of related. You're related or you're not.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay. There you go. Okay. Now you please. I mean, it's okay if your last name is Hebert, but.
I'm Carson Fontenot.
Thank you. Thank goodness you are. Yes, you are. All right. So 3. How many more Heberts are on your team?
Coach
Bailey.
T and Bailey.
And how many are on your team total? People.
29.
Oh God, dog, that's a lot of people.
Oh wait, on varsity?
Yeah.
12 maybe.
Okay. Well, look. All right, we'll get past all of that. You guys are doing great. Hebert, I got this in Fontenot. That's like I'm gonna get run out of this I-10 region on there, but that sounds like the making of a pretty good joke. 3 A-Bears and a. Oh gosh, please, if you look, send all your bad emails to nick@446sports.com, and that'll take care of all that. All right. You ladies have been on a pretty good championship run through the years since Mikey said he was a senior on there. The tradition of the volleyball program there at TC is pretty solid. Tell me about that.
I don't know. We're kind of like we're held on a high like pedestal, so like we're expected a lot. So like staying consistent in practice is like important.
There you go. How has it been being part of this team? You're all seniors, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how has it been being a part of this team? You've been a part of it all 4 years?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how that's been.
Well, I knew coming into Teurlings that I wanted to make the volleyball team just because, like, of their past and all them, like, winning so many state championships. And I knew that I just had to, like, push myself really to make the team and to continue to make it.
What's been some of the highlights from the start of the season? I see y'all are ranked, 6th or 7th in the power ranking?
I don't.
Wow, that was pretty good. Huh? They're excited about y'all. That's great. Okay. Tell me about the successes you've had this year.
Well, this year we've had a lot of like ups and downs, but I think we're getting better. Like definitely from the beginning of the season, I think we're going up.
And you've got what is it? How much of the season left over?
I would say like we're almost halfway through.
Yeah, that's what. And y'all tomorrow night are on the road, but it's close. It's at David Thibodeau.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What's the preparation been like for that one?
It's not like the same preparation as like STM, but you gotta kind of treat every game like STM or like Dominican. So just keeping a high level of IQ of volleyball.
Look, that you look back, and I went back through the brackets on there, and it's either you or STM or you or STM. That's the game, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Does that have y'all played them this year?
We played them once in in a camp in the summer.
But not in the season, I didn't think.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So what is it? Let's talk away from volleyball. Maybe some of the memories that you have just about your time at TC.
Wait.
Some of the memories that you have that's not volleyball related while you've been at Teurlings Catholic.
I don't know. Like I enjoy like the football games.
Do y'all all come out for those games?
When we can.
When you can, when you're not playing?
No, yes, volleyball. When we don't volleyball.
Okay. They schedule y'all have volleyball games on Friday nights when there's football?
Tournaments. We've only made one football game.
One football game.
Yes, sir.
Huh. Yeah, that guys? Does that I don't and look, a minute ago they were cheering y'all, and now it's a tough crowd, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what should we expect from this team this year from Teurlings volleyball?
We're a new team, so like we're still trying to learn each other. We're very competitive, and like we don't give up.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, on the bed, let's hand that back to one of the A-Bears or a Fontenot, and let's somewhere back there. Let's get when they get them back. Yeah, put that back on so you can hear what I'm asking you. Where'd she go? There, yeah, there you are. This is backwards to me here. So tell me, for your side, maybe a memory that you have of this season or a prior season.
This season, I think we really struggled like clicking with each other on the court, but I think we're learning how to like play with each other better and just just play with each other because it is a new team and like we have basically all new people on varsity.
Okay. Well, this is tougher than I thought it was going to be. Wow.
Sorry.
What about from you?
A memory?
Yeah, of this season.
This season, probably my favorite memory was playing Westminster last week. It was like a 5-set match. It was really intense. It was like point for point every game, and yeah.
There you go. Look, that's good. So, what's the season like? I know a lot of baseball and basketball and football and all that is year round. Take me through the volleyball season. How is it? Is it just during the season? Do y'all play year round?
We play. Some of us play like club during like January to like April-ish. But tryouts start the last week of May, and then we do workouts during the summer, and then we play until November, like early November.
There you go. Well, look, it's a pleasure visiting with you ladies. Looking forward to it. And go home and bring home that victory tomorrow against David Thibodeau, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go. And do y'all get to go out and watch any? Do y'all go see any of their games? Because y'all were booing. So y'all do go to their games, but they don't come to y'all's games. I get, but it's not your fault. See, look how that's a tight knit bunch. That's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you ladies doing that. It wasn't as bad as you thought it was it?
No, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, indeed it was. Well, look, the next time you come in, it won't be near as bad. So one more time, a big round of applause for our TC volleyball group that's here. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it'll be the final segment of the evening. It has flown by on here, too. Don't go anywhere. It's a Teurlings tradition. Come out to Pizza Village on Mall Street on Monday nights. It is the Michael Courville Show on 446 Sports.
At Guillory Chiropractic, we offer a variety of services to help you feel your best. From chiropractic adjustments for back pain relief to prenatal care during pregnancy, our team is dedicated to providing personalized treatment plans. We also specialize in sports injury rehabilitation and can assist with post-accident recovery. Whether it's routine checkups or specialized care, Guillory Chiropractic has the expertise and compassion you need to achieve optimal health. Contact us today to schedule an appointment at our Lafayette or Church Point locations.
For over 40 years, Tim's Southern Air of Acadiana has kept homes cool, safe, and running strong, day or night. From expert air conditioning services to dependable whole home generators, our certified team is always ready when you need us most. We're not just technicians, we're neighbors who care. Southern Air of Acadiana. Let us bear it. Call 337-339-9661 or visit timsac.com.
You can start a rewarding career as an emergency medical technician sooner than you think. The National EMS Academy, a division of Acadian Ambulance, can train you in just 12 weeks at their campuses in Alexandria, Baton Rouge, Covington, Lafayette, Lake Charles, New Orleans, and Thibodaux. Students who complete the class and pass the National Registry exam are eligible to work for Acadian Ambulance. Classes start soon. Learn more at becomeamedic.com.
Here's your Beal and Hebert starting lineup.
Lance Beal, Teurlings Catholic.
Kenny Hebert, Catholic High.
Stephen Williams, STM.
Don Connett, USL.
Alan Haney, Catholic High.
Gabrielle Romero, Sacred Heart.
Beal and Hebert, Acadiana's hometown lawyers.
And we are back here to Pizza Village on a Monday night, wrapping things up. Have a final segment, and that means we got our little visitor with us.
Yeah, she's getting blocked a little bit by our sponsors. I'm trying to get her on some camera time, but that's
here,
okay.
Here, watch this. Let me, Nick.
There you go.
See,
Thanks,
there you
Nick.
go.
There you go.
That's
Nick
what
almost didn't even come tonight, so I'm proud of we had him.
That's exactly right. But something about Pizza Village and the food, and he's like, all right, let's go. Coach, it's been a great show. It's been a great half of the season. Folks can go back. Just a reminder that the games and all of our shows are up on our Facebook and our YouTube page as well. I even think we found out I have an Instagram page. I don't know how that worked out, but if you've not followed our Facebook page, our Instagram page, pull your phones out and hit that button. There's no better time to do that. That way you keep up with what we do. You see our highlight videos and then be the first to see when we post our cool play of the game tonight, our player of the game, and our lineman of the game. We'll do all of that this evening. So if you've not, and if you happen to have a YouTube account, go ahead and subscribe to it. It doesn't cost anything, but it sure is a way that you're able to go and see all of the things that we do. So, Coach, you guys are heading to Rain this week. I know it's not a big, I think your longest trip was the Sam Houston trip over to Lake Charles. So.
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes, on a yellow bus,
But isn't everything around here 20 minutes?
Roughly. It all kind of depends. All the surrounding parishes are relatively close. Arcadian area, so as far as proximity, it really isn't that all, different.
Look, I think it was our very first week, and me or Nick, one of us had forgotten a cord. I don't know. I think it was me, but I try to push a little off on Nick. And it's like 2.3 miles, 20 minutes. 5 miles, 20 minutes. I think that way the MapQuest and those things just do that. Everything's 20 minutes.
Yeah, they're really too far, but
right. So, what do you look to come off of that big win, get out and start fast again? What's the approach that you guys are looking at? What's the thought process going into Rain?
I think defensively we need to be ready to go. We've been very impressed with Rain and their offensive system. They're a running team. They're going to do a lot of different formations and really want to attack you, on the perimeter and be able to cut it inside with some sweeps. And, those guys they have really good players there. Coach Kangiger does a great job. So, I just think, again, we want to focus on ourselves and being the best version of the Rebel team that we have, But, so, again, we just want to get down to the basics, some fundamentals, and just play our style of football.
Look, district starting to shape up. You guys are one of those that have a larger district group of games that you play. So I think a couple of the games already have been district games.
Correct. Yeah.
When a lot of the rest of the state are sitting there. So still the importance of taking care of one game at a time. But that district, those district wins, I know are very important to you, and that's one of those midseason goals.
Right. Certainly. If there's a lot of conversation about, do district titles really matter, with the playoff format being different and all these things. But if it wasn't important, they would stop giving them out. That's kind of how we want to approach it. And, certainly it's a big game. It's a game that you have to play. We didn't schedule it. It's required, and we'll treat it as such.
Look, what have you seen? And we asked some of the players this too. What have you seen that you have gotten better at this season from, let's go all the way back to the 7-on-7, when we first started looking at everything. Can't blame that on Coach Mike.
No.
That was you.
She's fine.
She's great.
No, I just think, just each and every day is one more day in our new offensive system and Coach Mike. So it's another day that Alex is comfortable running this offense. It's another day that Coach Mike's comfortable with this group of kids and what we want to run, who we want to be. I think we've improved dramatically defensively in coverage, as far as tackling different things. And I just think we've all just gotten a feel for it. You kind of get some of the butterflies out, and you've been under the light several times. So we're, now we really have an idea of what our, we have it. What you want the identity to be, and then you become what you become. But I think now we know truly who we are and what we're good at, what we need to improve on, and just keep doing those things to get better.
I guess I'm one of those that got fooled into thinking, and I mean this in the best way, so don't take it anyway other than what I mean. But I was thinking when there's a group of seniors, they're going to come out in game one and just be firing away. And they did.
Yeah.
But they keep getting better each week, too. Right. And I was like, man, where did all this come from?
I just think that's what we, again, for our program, our focus is to be at our best in November and December. And if we're not getting any better, then we're certainly failing, as a team and as a staff and as a program. So, that's our intent. We practice is very important to us. It's not just preparing for the opponents, it's about preparing ourselves to get better. And again, just want to keep getting better and be at our peak, or closer to our potential as possible, at the end of the season.
Look, we are at the halfway point. The Rebels sit at 5-0 on the season, and you look at some of the things that were question marks on there. How was the move of AJ? into a full-time tight end receiver type of spot.
Right.
I think that's a check mark on there without a doubt.
Right. I think you do that. Go back Ian Schwander. Kid the tailback has been phenomenal all year. That's something that we didn't know. New starters on defense. Now with Drake playing center and Barron stepping, there's different things that have happened. How have Casey and Nick come back from injury?
Yep.
And a lot of the question marks have been answered at a high level.
Look, another one of those players that I've been impressed with when he gets the ball in his hands is EDB. Mm-hmm. He just seems to run with such an aggression out there. He hits the hole quick and he's gone.
Well, I think the best thing about EDB is he's so coachable and he's going to do exactly what's asked of him. And that's certainly a feather in his cap. That's something that we can know. If we want to get him in there, we know he's going to execute. What we're asking him to do. And he's come on as of late and is really playing hard and really practicing hard and is trying to really work to get more opportunities. And again, when we have so many quality players, it's tough. There's only one ball, but EDB has certainly flashed last week as a kid that deserves a little bit more of a look.
Look, I think you got a host of folks. You talked about some coaches that were in for recruiting. If there's not a lot of coaches at every single Teurlings Catholic game, there are a lot of coaches that just don't rely on common sense because you got a lot of ball players that are out here that can and will and need to be playing at the next level. I know there's a lot of work to be done this season before we get to another level, but how has the response been from these coaches outside? Are people finally paying attention to what's going on here?
To an extent, those guys are busy on trying to save their jobs too. So, there's a lot going on in season. It's tough. A lot of the recruiting kind of happens towards the end of the year, but I was happy AJ had a visit this past weekend at a Division II school. I think Alex is picking up. I'm not going to reveal anything, but there's some really promising news, hopefully, for Drake Perry in the near future. And something that I'm certainly proud of. We just kind of wait and see how it's going to shake out. But it is starting to be more of a more active, so to speak, for our team. But it's not even close to being done.
Look, and it's such a difficult thing with this ridiculous portal and this nonsense NIL stuff. If you wonder where I stand on those two things,
there you go.
You know now.
Right.
Because it takes away from the actual recruitment of kids that are in high school that are doing things, and coaches want to wait, and it's such a backlog, and then you throw in the COVID nonsense that was
That's just kind of wrapping up now. But
right, but it still pushes things back 100%, on there too.
Yeah.
But these kids getting the looks that they deserve because there's ball players. I've seen kids that have all of the measurables that don't pan out at all. I mean, you see that every day.
Yeah.
But you got to get out and see these young men that play with the fire that they do, and that's what I think, Coach, has impressed me the most is that they play with controlled aggression, and that to anybody that's inside the game understands what that means. When we talk to Thomas and the look he's got, he's the most mild-mannered guy sitting here, but you turn the tape on and not so fast.
Yeah. Recruiting in general is just so different and so much more difficult to get a high school kid at the next level. I picked on my dad. I said, you really got out at the right time because, I mean, it's, a school much rather pick up a 20-year-old kid out of the portal that's been in college for 2 years and take a chance on a 17, 18-year-old kid and then that development. So, it's become much more difficult for a coach to help a kid, but there's still opportunities out there. The schools still need players, and it'll shake out. But as far as our kids, man, it means a lot to them to play for Teurlings Catholic. It means a lot to be a part of this program, and I really am proud of the way, we say the word together. And I think our team is so tight knit that they have this controlled aggression or this and that, but. It's because there you go.
I got that. That's only TC stuff I have, Coach.
But Colson wants to do it for Drake, and Drake wants to do it for Cole. It's that their friendship and their bond is something that I think is the reason why they play so hard, and they don't want to let their friends down.
It shows the difference too. Is that when they're here, they get here just about as early as anybody does, and you can tell how long practice goes of what time they get here too. Yeah. But they're always over that table, and they do such a great job. One more time, let's have a hand for our Rebels over here that are doing such a great job this season. It has been a lot of fun getting to know these guys, getting to know you and all of our TC family without a doubt. It was something that we went into not knowing what was going to happen on there, but have definitely found a home here with you guys in Pizza Village and all of Rebel Nation. So we're looking forward to continuing this on for a long time, Coach. But congratulations on a big start, and looking forward to a win each week.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Doug. You mentioned you only have a few pieces of clothing, but we only see you once a week.
God,
it's fine. Brett comes and
because my name's not A-Bear. I got to play.
Hey, I told you that. They'll go back. See, even our principal's an A-Bear. The coach is an A-Bear. It's just a name down here. But no, man, we couldn't be more thankful for 446. I've had so many people, thank me and for us to have this. We have grandparents that live out of town and siblings that live out of state. It just gives so much more opportunity just for family to see. And the big thing, too, is to get our brand out there and get our program out there. And, we want to be one of the best in the state. And I think this is a step towards the right direction.
Look, without a doubt it is. So, again, to everyone that made it out tonight, that come early and come hungry, you did a tremendous job. Our crowd here did a wonderful job. Thank you to our volleyball ladies that made it out, and good luck to you tomorrow night against David Thibodeau and the rest of the season on there. Keep up the great work.
I'll talk to Coach Terry and Coach Mayer about giving these ladies some media training. Poor things. It's not their fault. They weren't ready for it. They were practicing, but
they're laser focused on playing the game. They got a game tomorrow night. They don't just get to play once a week.
Solid point. Good point. You got me there.
I got you, ladies. Don't worry. There you go. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. What a show it has been. Congratulations to all of the players that were honored tonight. Congratulations to the Rebels on a 5-0 start, and we look forward to going 6-0 in that game at Rain this Friday night. Again, we tell you, don't watch our broadcast on there. Come out, make the short trip. It's 20 minutes away from the campus, which means it's just a couple of miles. So get on over there, because these kids, these players, these band, and the cheer and dance and all of that deserve you to go out and do that. The game will be there after it's over with. It's on our YouTube and Facebook and our Roku channel and everywhere. So go to the game, go out and support your Rebels, and then we'll see you back here on Monday night at 6-0. We'll be talking about that big victory. For my man, Coach Michael Courville, I am Doug Gann. Thank you, all of you. God bless you all, and good night.